My name is Mara. No one knows I'm still alive. I wish I could tell someone I've been alive and well, but ever since that night, I'm not the same. I was only 14 when the light mender took me from my home. For 5 years, I was his slave, forced to wear a mask when I went out to collect his precious resources. When my hands went numb, I was tossed to the beast for breakfast. I considered myself dead, but Elat had different plans for me. On my way to the dungeon, a minion spoke in Elat's voice.
I am Elat, god of discipline. I sense a certain potential in you, waiting to be forged into something stronger.
The minion began to collapse and started to form a shape. Elat forged a glowing chakram out of that minion. Nothing could have stopped me. My mission is clear now. I will fight for freedom.
Hey amigos, it's Chris again with another Outward video. I hope you guys are liking the little cinematic intros. They're super fun to make, but they do take up a lot of my time. If you do enjoy them, make sure to leave a comment below. Now, as far as the chakram, it could be very underwhelming, but with the right combination, it's a deadly weapon. Like always, I'll go over my stats, skills, and equipment, as well as where to get all the items I mentioned. Now, I do stream on Twitch if you guys have any immediate questions. The link will be in the description below. Subscribe to the channel if you want more videos on Outward, and leave a like if you found this video helpful. Now, let's get straight into the build. Hey YouTube, welcome to my Twitch stream. I'm going to show you guys my stats, my skills, and then my items. That's going to be the complete build. For skills, I did go with the monk. So, the monk right here.
Hey there.
And the philosopher.
Greetings, friend.
And also the Khajiit Spellblade, the one from Sierzo. So I can do this, where I can activate my mace to have lightning damage. So that's super cool. Now, as for my stats, I went with 115 max health, 130 max stamina, and 115 max mana. Now, the reason why I went with the 115 instead of the 200 that I do almost all the time is because I did need that stamina to use my abilities. I run a lot. Because you kind of don't want to get caught in a weird position with the chakram. It's a very difficult weapon to kind of learn and use. You want to use it more as a secondary than a primary, but at the same time, even as a primary, it's still pretty good. So we'll talk about that. Now, for items, I went with the Sar Mace, the Ornate Chakram, the Scholar Circlet, the Gold Lynch Armor, the Master Trader Boots, and then the Light Mender's Backpack. Now, I will show you guys how to get all of these, but I do switch out my hat most of the time. I go with the Gold Lynch Mask, just gives me a little bit more resistance as well as decreased mana cost, as well as I have my Mage's Tent. And another super important thing that you are going to need with this Chakram build are Discipline Potions. If not with the Chakram build, with anything that uses Discipline Boon, you're going to need these for sure. Because with your skill, Focus, it only lasts 225 seconds and the cooldown is 500. And unless you're a master at Brace, which is countering, then you're gonna really be needing these potions. Now, there's good news. There's super easy way to get these potions. So let me show you guys now how to get there. I'm gonna run straight to my house, which you can buy. So let's go over there. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with Monsoon, but when you're here, you can actually buy a house for 500 gold. It's gonna be right over here. And it's super easy to make these potions, guys. And then just by looting stuff across the map, you're gonna get these potions very easily. So there's gonna be an NPC right here. He should be standing right here. You buy the house from him, 500 gold. Then you go inside your house and you go up to the attic. Well, it's not really an attic. It's kind of like the 4th floor, I guess. So once you're here, you have a garden. So the way you make discipline potions is by gathering Liveweedy or Liveweedy, I'm not too sure. But you get 2 of these, and you need an Orker Spice Beetle. So since you didn't get them, if you don't know, the ochre spice beetles, you can only get them by looting plants. So when you loot them, you get the spice beetle, but not all the time. So if you didn't get them with the liveweed, just keep doing these, because then you'll start getting those ochre spice beetles. That's very helpful. Then you just go down here. You go to your alchemist station and you craft your discipline potions. You can craft 6 potions every time you come to your house once the garden has reloaded. So very simple. Now I have 7, which will last me a good 2 trips, 3 trips. And then if not, you could just buy the discipline potions. So you guys are probably very familiar, or if not, outside of Monsoon, there's always these 2-3 guards that you can always loot. And they should give you around like at least 100 coins loot, just selling everything they gave you need? And you can buy the discipline potions here. There you go. So 8 discipline potions is 120. You can easily make that with those 3 guards. Just go over there, kill them, buy them. I don't have enough silver. Let me use a gold ingot. There, we're good. Wait, how much did I sell? No, not 7. Remove 6. Alright, we're good. And now you have 15 discipline potions. Now you're like super set for a good, what, 6 trips? And that was all in just killing those 3 guards, buying the potions, going to your house, crafting the potions. Took me like 3 minutes. Now you never have to worry about it. Every time you go out, you use your focus. That way it allows you to use your spells. It allows you to use even this masterpiece of a skill. Does so much damage, especially when you have your blessed boon activated. Okay guys, so now we're going to talk about the skills, essentially why I got them. Now, we are going to go and learn from QER 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I do play on PC, sorry console guys, but it's the same thing, essentially. So, the first skill we really have to talk about is Focus. So, I'm going to use it right now. Focus gives you the Discipline boon. Now, a Discipline boon is a physical damage buff. It gives you 15%, but that's not really why we really use it. I mean, kind of, because we do use Perfect Strike, which is this one, our Q. Now, that does tons of damage. Essentially, you're using your Chakram all the time just to set up for your Q, for Perfect Strike, sorry. So, Perfect Strike, great ability, hits like a truck. Now, E. So, the E is Elemental Discharge. So, actually, on my 4 and 5, I have Blessed. The Blessed boon just gives me a little bit of lightning damage and resistance. But what I want to use is Infused Light. So you do have to pretty much do the Monsoon quest line, the Holy War, to get these abilities. I just like it, looks cool. You don't have to go with Infused Light. You can do Infused Fire, Infused Frost, but I just think it looks cool. It gives you light as well, so I never use a lantern between my glowing chakram and my lightning mace, I guess. You have a lot of light, so I never have to really use a lantern. But that's how you get the ability to use your elemental discharge, which is your E. So that's awesome. You can snipe with it and it does a ton of damage, and it's kind of your main mage skill when you don't have your chakram on, so if you don't have your discipline boon on. But you always have it on because you have your discipline potions. So discipline potions, like I said, super cool. They're exact same thing as the focus buff, literally the exact same thing. You just don't have a cooldown. You can use it whenever. So if you're dead, or let's say you're in the middle of the fight and your discipline boon goes away, just pop a quick potion. That's why I have it on my hotbar, because I want to always be able to have it. I would rather you have the discipline potions on your hotbar than focus, because focus has such a long cooldown. You never know when you're going to need it. So now, chakram abilities. I'm going to go with my one. It's Chakram Pierce. Just goes straight and back. Does do a lot of damage towards their shield. So if they're blocking, it's going to knock it down about halfway, if not a little bit less. But then that's when you use Chakram Dance. I believe that's what it's called. Chakram Arc, sorry. Is this one called Chakram Dance? Oh, this one's called Chakram Dance. Okay, yeah, Chakram Arc. So a combination between your 1 and your 2 is going to knock them down. And that's when you hit them with the Perfect Strike. It does ridiculous amounts of damage. And then you have your 3, your Chakram Dance. So Chakram Dance, you can only use maybe You can use it twice during one discipline buff because it has so much cooldown. I actually think it's the worst skill for the chakram. You're mostly using your 1 and your 2 for the most part. Now the chakram dance is great if you're in a weird situation. It actually sends you back and then shoots the ability. So let's say I'm like fighting someone here and I kind of feel like they're getting a little too close. You use your 3, sends you a little bit back, and then it just knocks them down. So it is kind of your best skill, but at the same time you don't use it often because it has such a long cooldown. But the 3 is great, or the chakram dance is great, because every time you hit them, they're losing their shield, so you get to knock them down way quicker. And then that sets you up again for your perfect strike. So right here I don't have a discipline boon anymore because I ran out, but that's when you use your perfect strike and you knock them out. And then if you don't have the perfect strike, then I would go for an elemental discharge, unless obviously they're lightning enemies, then you don't want to use that because then they're immune to it. So you could always mix it up. But essentially that's exactly how I use all my skills. I just kind of knock them down with my chakram. Usually they're like half health or very close to half health with the chakram, because the Ornate Chakram does a lot of damage. It has 37 damage and 41 impact. You can go with the frozen one, but I just kind of want to go with this whole lightning thing. I really care about aesthetics for some reason, and I think this whole build really looks super cool. It makes Mara look really nice. And then if you want to, just put on your mask and you become. So now I'm gonna show you guys how to get all the items. Usually I do like a slideshow, but they're pretty hard to obtain, so I'm just gonna talk and essentially just show you guys how to get them. So first, the Sar Mace, pretty hard already. You have to complete the Dark Ziggurat. Once you kill the enemy boss, it's like they give you the Jade Lynch armor, which is really cool. Might use it for another build. Gives you a bunch of mana reduction, but he allows you to craft all these weapons. And the first one that I crafted was a Sar Mace, and I love it. I like using maces for mages. I think that's pretty cool. Now, for the Sar Mace, you need 1 Hackemite, 1 Palladium, and 1 Sar Stone, and just a regular mace. When you put those together, you can craft the Sar Mace. You just have to give it to the enemy boss. So now he's allowing you to craft these items. So the Sar Stones are pretty hard to obtain. Now there is one available in the Dark Ziggurat dungeon, and I'll pretty much post a link to my Twitch stream on how to get the Sar Mace, how I did it. I'm just going to show you like pretty much what I did to get it. Now the next one is the Ornate Chakram. This one's found in the desert, so you must go to the Abrasar Desert. You go to the town, and then you buy the Ornate Chakram. Now the Ornate Chakram is pretty expensive. It's about 1,600 coins. So with 1,600 coins, you get the Ornate Chakram, but it's pretty cool. It just glows. Like I said, there's a lot of chakrams you can use. You don't have to use this one. Now the Gold Lynch Mask and the Gold Lynch Armor. You have to complete the Spear of Light dungeon. The Spear of Light dungeon is actually pretty difficult, so I would recommend maybe taking like a partner, take somebody that can duo with you and do the dungeon. Unless you're kind of pretty much OP or you have a character that's pretty strong, go get that Lynch Armor and transfer it over to your other character. You have to complete the whole dungeon, kill the boss, and he awards you this Lynch Armor set. It comes with boots too if you want to just complete the set, get a bunch of mana cost reduction. But I like to go with my Master Trader boots. The Master Trade boots, very simple to get. With any of the merchants, they have the little cart. You can find them in the free world. So like if you just go outside and you find one of those random merchants, you just buy them off of them. The Light Menders backpack. Now this one's also kind of difficult to get. It's a quest line. And this quest line, you must complete the Spear of Light first. So you already have the Gold Lynch Armor. Now you get a quest after you complete the whole dungeon. You get the tablet from one of the altars that's there, and you activate the quest line. So I'll obviously put a link in the description for my Twitch stream, because this one is a little bit complicated. I had somebody from my Twitch stream actually show me how to get it. So that's how I pretty essentially got it. So go watch that if you really want an in-depth guide, or not really a guide, but just see how I did it. Just follow along and you'll get the Light Menders backpack. Now the Scholar's Circlet, which is actually the one I usually wear. So the only merchant in the ley line, so that's where you get your mana. So inside the mountain in Chersoni's, I believe, you're able to buy this circlet, and it gives you minus 10% mana cost. I mean, you could always wear the Gold Lynch Mask instead, But I like the circlet because it gives it more of a look. I like to have my white hair with my glowing chakram and my glowing mace, so it looks cool. But essentially that's everything you need for the build. Now it is a little complicated to get, but I just did it purely on aesthetics. You can use anything to give you mana reduction. Really, the core items are the Ornate Chakram and the Sar Mace. And the Light Menders backpack is just really cool, and it gives you mana cost. So you can use these items essentially how you want. Take a piece, put more pieces on. You can make your own build. That's totally fine. Just remember how to use the chakram, how I used it. That's essentially what I'm trying to get. Well, looks like that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed the Mara intro as well as the chakram build. Now, subscribe to the channel for more videos on Outward, as well as give it a like if you thought this video was helpful. Like always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.